So here it is when Eikon meets Tyler West. Most of you may know Tyler from his daytime slot on Kiss FM or his many appearances on TV. But I know Tyler from a project we worked on about 3 years ago, supporting young people that weren't in education. Tyler has a real passion about supporting young people. So when this lockdown happened and we were looking for new ways to reach out to young people, to find different things to do, it was great when he agreed to do this interview. So fingers crossed it makes you laugh, or it may be that there's somebody out there that gets some inspiration from it. Thanks.
There we go. You're recording. You all good?
Yeah, sorted.
Amazing. You all right?
Yes, I'm good. So this is Tyler. I'm Lorraine. Tyler, do you want to talk a bit about you and where you are now and who you are?
Yeah, sure thing. So I'm Tyler West. I present the Drive Time show on Kiss FM. So you would hear my voice every afternoon from 3 till 7. And then I also present for MTV News and work for different channels and broadcasters doing presenting. I've done it for about 5 years now. I'm now to what? I'm 24 now. I feel a bit
You're
old.
getting old.
Old.
You're getting old.
I've done it for about 5 years, and yeah, I just absolutely love it. But I was never ever in this position ever, and did I ever imagine myself doing the work I do? No, like completely not. So yeah, that's kind of me. That's what I do on a week-to-week basis, and what I do for a living.
That's cool. So obviously a little bit about me. I work for the Eikon charity that supports young people around mental health and those that need a little bit more support. And that's why I've come to you, really, to try and get something out there for them to see. So they're not just talking to boring old me. They've got someone they can relate to. So yeah, it's just really finding out how you're dealing with being locked in and things like that. Because like
mad,
myself,
isn't it?
yeah, you're a bit of an extrovert and tying us indoors is difficult. So yeah, how are you dealing with it?
I think it's been a case of just taking a second to see it as an opportunity. Like for once in like 5 years of me just absolutely grafting day in, day out, traveling to this place, meeting with this person and working this job, it's kind of given me an opportunity and time to myself. And time's like the most important factor that you could ever get given, because it gives you time to like work on yourself. It gives you time to work on, like, if you want to pick up a new skill or study something else, or even just simply sit there in your boxes and play some PlayStation. That is, I've been craving to do that for such a long time. Obviously within reason and within a time limit. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's using that time to just like really sort of benefit yourself. Because time's like one of the things that's never ever guaranteed. And if you can like have an opportunity like this where you're in lockdown, where you can't go see your mates, you can't get distracted by anything, it's more of an opportunity more than anything. So I've been doing like I've been playing a lot of PlayStation, obviously, but I've been doing a lot of work from home, like similar things to this, doing video calls with people, staying sociable. I've been making sure that obviously I get my exercise in every day. I'm going out for an hour. I go for a run. I do like a little park workout or do a little workout in my back garden, and making sure that I'm getting out the house. But one of the most important things as well is that I'm trying to set up that routine where I still get up at a good time every morning, and then I'm like, right, cool, to-do list this week. This is what I'm going to get done. Am I going to start a blog? Am I going to start update my website? Am I going to just upload some videos to Instagram and just get out there being creative? And that's some of the things that isolation and lockdown has given me the opportunity to do, to be able to go out there and create videos, so that now when I come out of isolation, I've actually got work lined up because of the stuff that I've done in isolation, which is sick. Like I never imagined it. I never imagined we'll be in lockdown. And it's just been a blessing that I've obviously been able to do my radio show as well from my bedroom wardrobe. So we've been hanging in there, and I think it's just like, just keeping it as busy as you possibly can, and just going and using it as that opportunity.
So you're getting friendly with your bedroom walls then?
100%. But it's the way I see it is as well, is that there's no, aside from my PlayStation and Netflix, there's no distractions. So it's kind of like you can work as long or as hard as you want. Just trying to find that balance. And I think now, a few weeks in, 6 weeks in we are now, and I've got the balance. And I've also got a dead trim as well. So this is what, so I think, at the moment I'm not looking to be sociable, even if I had the opportunity with this haircut. So
no, there is times like that. I think there's going to be some hairy people coming out of this. I don't know how they're going to cope.
Loads of Chewbaccas. Loads of Chewbaccas. This is it.
And I've got to say that is one thing with me, with my waxing my legs. I run out of wax. So for my theory, I wax the fronts of them because that's the only part I can see and left the back. So yeah, it's not good, is it? You know we're going to come out of here.
That is hilarious.
Yeah. So, but you've obviously not always been this busy. There's been challenges along the way. How have you got to where you got to? What was the sort of work you had to put in to get to where you are?
I think it's a bit mad, like, because I say now that I've been doing it, just over 5 years. It was my birthday the other week. And when I first started, though, I was 18. I was working at McDonald's at the time. I was in sixth form, just finishing up, and then I was about to go to university because that's the natural progression route, right? You just, like, everybody in school says to you, like, oh yeah, go on and then go to uni and you go study furthermore. But I just was like sitting there and I was thinking, like, listen, I want to go into TV. How do I do that? And I just kind of took a risk, took a gap year and thought, like, well, if I'm going to go into TV, it's more of a hands-on topic. Let me go and just try and get into it, speak to as many people as I can and network and do all of that. So when I told my school that I wasn't going to, I accepted my uni offer, and then I was meant to go there. I think it was like on the Monday, but on the Friday, phoned my school and said, oh, just to let you know, I've cancelled my uni position. I've deferred it for a year. I'm not going to try and get into TV. They told me I was absolutely mad because, and actually thinking back to it, I was earning like £3.65 an hour, and I was working at McDonald's like 40 hours a week. And then I said no to university to try and get into TV. It was like almost like, oh, let me try and get into Hollywood sort of thing. I thought I had no luck, but anyway, I did it, and I took that year out. And in that year, I just kind of used the time wisely. I grabbed a camera, recorded some YouTube videos in my bedroom, like interviewing my mate, saying, oh yeah, he's a famous music artist. How does it feel and stuff like this? He wasn't a famous music artist at all. And then with that, I built a show reel, and with that show reel, I then sent it round to absolutely everybody I could possibly contact. I was guessing emails at BBC. I was doing like tyler.west@bbc.co.uk. That would bounce back, and then I'd finally get an email of someone and send it through to them, and I'd be like, oh, thanks for this, and we'll give it a look and feedback and stuff like that. And it was just kind of putting myself out there as much as I possibly could, because I never used to be like that as a child. Like when I was younger, I was the shyest person ever. I'd hide behind my little brother, my older brother, sorry. So then when it came to the opportunity of like, all right, okay, I'm just going to keep on trying to be confident. And at 18, I still wasn't mad confident. So it was just a case of just putting myself out there and putting myself outside my comfort zone. And that happened. And then I kept on sending it around. And then through contacts and networking and links, I finally met an agent called Seamus, and he took an opportunity with me. Bearing in mind, I was working at McDonald's at the time.
Yeah, I'm this young person working at McDonald's.
Literally front counter, like having to pause my shift and go to a meeting. But that happened, and then 6 months later, I had an opportunity with CBBC, and then it just kind of went on leaps and bounds from there. So over the years from there, I started on children's television presenting. I got given my own show on there, which was amazing in the end. That was called Kickabout Plus. And then after Kickabout Plus, I did some bits for Blue Peter and Sport Relief. And then after that, I started hosting an online channel for Lego on YouTube, and it had like 5 million subscribers or something mad like that. It was just so much fun. So that's kind of where it went. And then once you're in the industry, I think that's the hard part to get through the door.
Yeah.
But then the harder part from there is to keep it going, because there were so many times over the last 5 years where I've been on Indeed looking at part-time, like warehouse night supervisor jobs and 9 to 5 jobs that would work around me and presenting, because I just wasn't earning enough. I wasn't able to support my mum, and the work wasn't as consistent enough. It's kind of a dog eat dog industry, but I think it was just the perseverance, like being able to, I think if you act as if, like, especially when you're working self-employed, if you act as if you're not going to get paid at the end of the month, you're going to find some work within that month.
Yeah.
And I just think, I don't ever think I've dropped that sort of tenacity in terms of how I operate in my work schedule. Like, I'll fit as many things as I possibly can into one day, sometimes a bit too much, and forget to relax. But I think that's the sort of stamina that you build up over the years. And that's kind of what's happened. So, you know, I was working, and then there was other times there that I was working. I was working at MTV, but then that work there again wasn't as consistent enough. So I picked up a personal training qualification. I did a weekend course in London. And then before you know it, I was a qualified personal trainer. So I could take on clients just to keep me ticking over until the next bit of work came along, sort of thing. So it was just it was spinning multiple plates at the same time. But I think over the 5 years, you just learn to just not give up and just keep moving and take every opportunity with two hands.
That does sound quite exhausting, though. That sounds like a lot of work going on.
It's exhausting, but at the same time, it's paid off. Do you know what I mean? Like, so now to the fact that I present on KISS every day and talk to millions of people, and that I've got, you know, meetings with people that I never imagined I'd ever be able to, like channels like ITV and BBC, and there's a lot of work in the background, and it's like it's now what I've done in those 5 years has put me to a position where now the next 5 years look even more amazing. Do you know what I mean? But I never once seemed like that when I was 18 in McDonald's.
Yeah, but don't knock at being 18 and working at McDonald's. I bet you loved the Big Mac.
I loved it. Listen, I had 3 stars, and I would still work there now. But it's just the case that I just think at the time when they was paying me £3 an hour, it was just like, nah, you know what?
Yeah, you
that
can't
meal
survive
cost
on that.
more than £3. That meal cost more than £3, and I'm serving it. Yeah, I'm cooking it and I'm serving it. It was mad. But at the same time, that was an experience, because then knowing what it's like to work there made me. Don't get me wrong, there was some amazing progression at McDonald's as well. Like, people could go into management positions and actually earn a really good wage, and crew trainers and stuff like that. But just for me, it's like, and my brother always said this to me when I was younger, because it came down to like my options when I was like 14. I was like, oh, what subjects are you going to pick? And then my brother said to me, he was like, oh, pick something that don't worry about trying to put together these combinations that are going to get you into university or a certain job. Just pick something you're passionate about, because they're the subjects that you're going to do the best at. And when I was 14, like through to 16, I missed quite a bit of school because of some things that went on in my life. But then I still managed to get good grades, because the small time that I did have at school, I was so passionate about those subjects. And that's something that I've always kept with me. Like, there's not work that I do in my life now that I'm not passionate about, or that I really don't care about. And I think the difference of what that then makes is that the work's good is because I'll put in as many hours as I need to put in to my radio show for it to sound good, because I love it. I'll put as many hours in as I can creating a video for that brand, because I love creating videos. So I think it just shows off in the end. It shows off in the work.
And you can see it has, definitely, because look where you are now, and hopefully these next 5 years you'll be picking what you want to do instead of doing all the little jobs or working all the hours you've got to. Hopefully you can work a few hours a day and earn the money you've always wanted to.
100%.
Yeah.
I still think I'd work more than that, even if they said, oh yeah, you only got to work 3 hours. I still think I'd back out like a 12-hour job of something, of like personal projects or working with young people or something like that. I think that will always stay with me, because that's just sort of in my bones now. But
well, you're always welcome to come on board, but we can probably only pay you £4 an hour, but we'll see.
I don't need that.
Oh, we got some good volunteer vacancies if you ever get bored.
I'm there.
Yeah, no, I think you've done amazing. You really have. I do. And I think it's your dedication, your hard work. It's not always been easy. It's not easy to get to where you are now at all.
Yeah.
But
I said to a lot of young people the other day, I was doing another video for another charity I was working with, and I said to them, like, I'm just from a council estate in South London. I grew up, it was just me, my mum, my brother. My dad was never around. And it's a case, like, if you can go from, it doesn't matter how, like, everybody's got a bad situation or a situation that they're in. It doesn't really compare to other people's stories, but I just feel like if I can do it, and I kind of had that set up, like, trust me, you've got more than enough opportunity and like backing behind you and like a platform to step forward on than you could ever ask for. Like, it is definitely there. It doesn't, like, what's happened to you in your past and where you're from doesn't define where you're going to go in your future.
Yeah, and I think that's really important for young people to hear, to see that you've come this far. You've come from the background that a lot of them have come from, and you have come this far through dedication, hard work, and everything else. That don't let what's happening in their life now change where they go in the future, because anyone, you've got to have aspirations. You've got to be able
Yeah.
to go that far and put that effort in.
And it's just like, also, it's like the people that you look at, like they might look at people in my position, say for example, be like, oh yeah, that's fine, they're like, they're working, they're in the public eye, they're in the media, they have so much attention around them and things like that. Because I used to look up to presenters and famous people and celebrities, like, oh my god, that's so and so, like, and you would get so starstruck and you'd think, nah, they ain't got time for me, or they had it privileged, or they had it like this and the other. But they're just human beings, they're just like you and us. So when you have the opportunity to talk to someone, when you have the opportunity to reach out, just take the risk, take the leap and go do it. Like my DMs are always open if any young person ever wants like any advice, or if they've got music they're interested in, or if they want to learn something new, or even if they just want to pop into KISS, like I'm always more than down to help out. Because I always used to look at it like, oh, that's a massive thing. But once you get there, I think the big thing, the big hurdle for everybody to get over is just asking the question, or talking to the person, or taking that risk to reach out. Like, what's the worst that could happen? Like, if it's a no, then you need to have more no's in your life so that you can just get used to it. Because that is just like the amount of no's that I've got, and the people that have said, like, I had so many agents reject me when I first ever started out in presenting. And then now it was only like 4 months ago that another agency approached me and was like, oh, Tyler, we're loving your work. Do you fancy coming in for me? And I'm like, no.
No thanks, I'm staying put.
Who are you? I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I asked you months ago, years ago, and you went no.
100%. 100. And then the people that were laughing when I was at McDonald's, and I was enjoying it. I was earning money, and being able to support my mum, and just being able to get myself and earn my own wage and graft for everything that I wanted in my life. So I think, yeah, it's just important just to take those opportunities and just have one of those moments where you just go, what's the worst that could happen?
And rejection is okay.
Get used to no's, get used to rejection, because it's always going to happen, whether that be a girl that you're asking out, whether that be a boy you're asking out, whether that be a job that you're going for, or just an opportunity of you asking somebody for a favor. Like, people are always going to say no. So the more that you build up that resilience, the better off you are in the long run.
Yeah. No, I think you're wonderful, and I think the message that it's great to see someone like yourself being so honest and being so open, and I think that message will really help a lot of young people out there. So I'm grateful, and thank you very much.
Wicked.
I do appreciate it.
That's an absolute pleasure. Like I said, any of the young people listening in, if they want any help or advice, or want to speak to me and just ask me any other questions about like where I've got to, like my DM's always open. It's just Tyler West on Twitter, Instagram and stuff like that. So yeah.
No, I really appreciate it, and I really do hope everything works out for you. I'm so pleased to see you where you are now.
Actually, thanks, Lorraine.
Yes, but no, I'm really proud of you. Well done, and thank you so much for taking the time.
It's an absolute pleasure. Anything you need, just shout, all right?
Yes, definitely. Right, take care, and
I'll see you
catch
later.
up with you soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care, all right?